Everything is Buzz's fault, and I think I can prove it. Hello! Welcome back to the Spoony Stitcher channel. I'm Shannon the Spoony Stitcher, you're inside the Stitchery, and I'm so happy you're here today. Today, I don't know what we're gonna do, but stay tuned and we'll have fun together. This year in 2025, Home Alone is 35 years old. This film is 35 years old. I had to do something special, including my wardrobe. It's Kevin's plan. His battle plan. I like it a lot, so yeah. If you want one for yourself, I will link it down below. Today we're gonna have some fun. I was gonna call this fun facts, but it's not necessarily fun facts. Normally fun facts are like behind the scenes stuff and things like that. This is more, it's not actually proven, and no, the director hasn't come out and said that this is true or anything, but it's more of a theory. So here's some fun little theories that I think are true about Home Alone. Let's just have some fun today. Did you know the McCallisters have a dog? They do. In fact, when Kevin's mom is on the phone, you even hear her say that they put the dog in the kennel. We also know that Kevin uses the doggy door when he attacks the wet bandits. Why is there no dog bed? Why is there no food and water dish? Depending on the kind of kennel, they might have had to take those things for the dog there. How in the world are Harry and Marv so successful? They're terrible bandits. Now, Harry at least knows how to plan properly. Execution needs work, but his planning is pretty good. I mean, think about it. The first time we meet Harry, he's pretending to be a cop. And what is he doing? He's surveying the neighborhood to see where people are going on vacation, what kind of burglary systems they have set up, so he knows and he's prepared, and how long they'll be gone. At least back in the 90s, they didn't really question if you were a cop or not. They just kind of believed it. You were wearing the uniform, you had a badge. It's a believable plotline. Also, I think it was Harry's idea to get the plumbing truck. First of all, it's okay plumbing. Would you call a plumber that calls themselves okay? No, you would want a stupendous plumber or a fantastic plumber, not an okay plumber. Also, I bet the number on the truck is probably not even real. Probably doesn't lead anywhere. However, that's actually really clever because then no one's gonna bother you. No one's gonna hire you because you're an okay plumber, and no one's gonna like tap on your window and be like, I need a plumber, unless they're really desperate. So it's a pretty good cover. And I bet it was Harry's idea. Why does Harry need Marv? Well, first of all, you can kind of tell they're best friends, especially in that deleted scene where they're singing. Yes, I'm going to talk about deleted scenes in here because they are important to the movie. I'm sorry, if they're a deleted scene, it still counts as canon to me. So, yeah, there is a deleted scene where Marv is trying to like calm Harry down because he's in the van and he's agitated and stuff, and they start singing. And they changed the lyrics to, I think it's Santa Claus is coming to town. They changed the lyrics. It's really cute. I'm sad they left it out of the movie. I think the number one reason he needs him is because he's his best friend. But I think he also needs Marv because I think Marv is the muscle. I mean, he's definitely destructive, but he also has a more brash approach to things. But then you also see this very tender moment. So he needs him kind of emotionally, but I think for the business side, he's a thief, but anyway, it's a business, I guess. He kind of needs him for the tough stuff. I don't know, I always felt kind of sorry for Marv because I feel like he's easily manipulated. And I also feel like he genuinely cares about Harry. So, yeah. Old man Marley. What happened between him and his son? We know Kevin is 8 years old, and he said that this happened before Kevin moved in. So here's my theory. Let's say before the McCallisters moved in, that Marley's son came home from college. Marley's wife is still alive. I have a feeling she was always the buffer between these two. And when she passed away, yes, I do believe that Marley is a widower, not divorced. I do believe he is a widower. And I think she was what held them together. And then when she passed away, they no longer have that buffer. And I think it put quite the rift between them. And remember, we know he wasn't a kid because he said he didn't care to see him anymore. Well, that means that he had to have a way to leave the house. So he couldn't have been a kid. So there had to be a way for him to exit. So my guess is college, probably in his 20s. I don't know. Again, it's just a theory, but that's what I think happened. I think some argument happened. They no longer had their buffer and it got out of hand. And nobody said sorry. So, yeah. But we know at the very end of the movie they repair their relationship, so it's all good. Everyone's always talking about this. What did the McCallisters do to afford a trip to Paris? Nothing. They don't do anything to afford a trip to Paris. This one is not speculation. This one is outright said in the movie, and yet I still hear people talk about how did Peter afford to take everyone to Paris? He didn't.
Kate tells us everything we need to know. It's Peter's brother who lives in Paris. We find out later in the movie his name is Rob. And Heather is his daughter. Heather is the one in the college sweatshirt. That's probably why she's staying with Peter and Kate, is because she went to college in the States, which Kate says, and they're traveling to Paris all together. So I don't know why people are confused, because they literally tell you everything you need to know.
So, Peter didn't do anything. How does he afford a nice house? What do he and Kate do for work? I don't know. But Peter didn't pay for anything. I do have a fun fact for you. So, you know the scene where Kevin goes to the elf and the Santa to ask for Santa to bring his family back? And he says, I'm old enough to know how it works. Like, I know you're not the real Santa and stuff like that. And the guy's like, yeah, go ahead. And he gives him Tic Tacs. Well, at the very end of that scene, he was supposed to drive off. Kevin walks away and the guy drives off. The car not starting was not in the script. But because everyone stayed in character, they kept it. Although I'm pretty sure fake Santa cussed. And they just cut it really fast. So, yeah, but that little car not starting, not in the script. Everything is Buzz's fault, and I think I can prove it. Hear me out.
Everything starts with this scene. In this scene, we find out Buzz ordered the pizzas. That means he knew exactly how many cheese pizzas he ordered and that there wouldn't be any for Kevin. Next, Buzz tells Kevin that if he wants any cheese pizza, someone's going to have to throw it up, and then pretends to try and throw it up. Of course, I'm sure he wasn't planning on getting punched by Kevin and the chaos breaking out, but he knew that Kevin would definitely act out and end up getting himself in trouble. In this scene, of course, we can also see, which many people already know about, the fact that it's foreshadowing that Kevin is going to be the one left behind because his ticket is the one that ends up in the trash. Kate decides to take Kevin up to the attic to sleep on the hide-a-bed with Fuller because there's no more spots in the house for anyone to sleep, including Kevin's own room. But Kevin says that Fuller had something to drink and he'll wet the bed, so she said, fine, we'll put him somewhere else. Now, no one is going to be looking for Kevin because they're going to forget that he's up there. And during the panic of the next morning, that's exactly what happened. During the morning of all the chaos and the power's out, and so the alarm clocks didn't go off and they slept in and everything is in a panic. Heather is in charge of counting the kids to make sure that everybody is accounted for. However, if you watch this scene very carefully, which I took some screenshots for you so you can see, she counts herself twice. She counts herself as number 3 and number 11, because even though she'd like Buzz not to have thrown her off, he did. So it wouldn't have mattered if she counted the neighbor kid or not. Oh, Peter, how right you are. And this is why I say, Kevin being home alone isn't Kate's fault. It's Buzz's fault.
So let's talk about the kids. Who belongs to who? Thanks to a deleted scene, We know what Heather's parents look like. And she has siblings. That's her mom and dad. So that is who paid for the trip for Paris. Heather is their daughter. We know that. She says her dad lives in Paris. Why else would she be in that house if she was not a relative? Thanks to a family portrait, we know exactly who's in Kevin's immediate family. We have Peter and Kate, the mom and dad. We have Buzz and Linny. We'll get back to Linny. We have Megan, Jeff, and Kevin. Now, I had to do some digging because I thought initially Rod was Heather's brother because Buzz asked him the question about French babes and he knows the answer. First of all, why ask him? And secondly, he has an answer. To me, that seems like he should maybe live in Paris part of the time, or he's familiar with Paris. But no, he's Frank's son. Yeah, we know that because of the second movie. None of the Paris side of the family are in the second movie. So we know that Rod actually belongs to Frank and Leslie. Fuller, I knew had to be Leslie's kid. Not only does he look like Brooke, who looks like her mom, but Leslie dotes on him. It had to be her baby. And Tracy kind of looks like her mom, and Sandra kind of looks like her dad. So they did a really good job with the kids matching the adults in my mind. I thought they all went together really, really well. And I'm glad that they threw Jeff in there for Kate and Peter, so there's another redhead.
Linny is the best sibling, and I will never forgive Home Alone for cutting this scene. So this is a deleted scene between Peter and his daughter Linny, and it's Linny's idea for the family to travel back on Christmas so that they're all together. I love this scene, and I hate that they cut it. During this scene right before it, you also get to see that Buzz is the only one who is not up worrying about Kevin and their mom. So Buzz clearly doesn't care. But the rest of the family does. They can't sleep.
This is my favorite theory. It's not mine. I have to share it with you because I absolutely love it. The very beginning of the movie, Old Man Marley's hand is damaged. It's got a big bandage around it. You see it really clearly when he comes into the little convenience shop. And Kevin is scared of him, and his hand is a mess. And the guy just kind of stares at him, and it's scary, and I don't want to go anywhere near you. And then Kevin runs away. But when they're in the church, his hand only has a Band-Aid on it. And he opens up to Kevin. Marley's hand, or his wound, represents the healing journey. Not just the hand healing, but everybody's relationship, including Marley's and Kevin's. Kevin and Marley never speak. His hand is badly damaged. Kevin and Marley meet, and he's scared of him. Hand is still really bad. By the way, his hand is pierced because we can see the bottom of his hand, but the Band-Aid was on the front of his hand. That means something went all the way through. Yikes. Anyway, he and Kevin are in the church, and their relationship is getting repaired because Kevin's no longer afraid of him. He opened up to him. They had a beautiful conversation. And yeah, it just has a Band-Aid. And then at the very end of the movie, who saves Kevin? Marley. Marley saves Kevin. You can't really see his hand because it's super fast, but I'm guessing it's still a Band-Aid. And then at the very end of the movie, they make sure you can see Marley's hands really clearly. There's no Band-Aid, no hole, no scar, because Kevin and he are good, and he repaired the relationship with his son. And Kevin repaired the relationship with his family. And that's all I have for you today. A little bit of theorizing, a little bit of fun facts, just a whole mixture, just to celebrate the 35th anniversary of a really great Christmas film. Oh, and to all the people who think that this film could be filmed any time of year, no. They made sure you knew this was a Christmas film. Did you see all the green and red throughout the whole movie, including the Home Alone house? Yeah, they wanted you to know this was a Christmas film. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you had a lot of fun on this Film Friday, and I will see you next week. Oh yes, I know it's Christmas week, but I still have videos. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too.